a nation once defined by restraint, is now reshaping the future of air warfare. For decades, Japan stood as a symbol of post-war pacifism, bound by a constitution written in the shadow of atomic devastation. Today, that same nation is quietly preparing one of the most ambitious military aircraft ever conceived, a 6th-generation stealth fighter known as the Mitsubishi FX, ominously nicknamed Godzilla. Its emergence signals not just a technological leap, but a fundamental shift in Japan's role on the global stage. The roots of this transformation lie in the ashes of World War II. In 1947, under strong U.S. influence, Japan adopted a pacifist constitution that renounced war and prohibited the maintenance of offensive armed forces. Article 9 reshaped Japanese identity, legally preventing the country from engaging in traditional military activity. For more than 75 years, Japan technically had no army, only the self-defense forces, operating in a legal gray zone and officially classified as civilian employees of the state. Yet pacifism did not mean weakness. Over time, Japan quietly built one of the most capable defense forces in the world. Today, the self-defense forces number roughly 250,000 personnel, backed by a defense budget that reached a record $53.8 billion last year. Despite constitutional limits, Japan now ranks 5th globally in military power, proof that restraint and readiness can coexist. The trauma of Hiroshima and Nagasaki still echoes through national memory. Those events left a deep aversion to militarism embedded in Japanese society. Rather than rearm aggressively, Tokyo relied on a security alliance with the United States. American forces, including major air units, were stationed across Japan, creating a powerful deterrent umbrella. Under this protection, Japan rebuilt its economy and infrastructure while outsourcing much of its defense responsibility to Washington. That strategic balance is now under severe strain. The rise of China and renewed Russian activity in the Pacific have fundamentally altered the security environment. The United States has signaled support for Japan to assume a stronger military role, effectively positioning Tokyo as a central pillar of the U.S.-led counterbalance to Beijing in Asia. China's posture toward Japan has grown increasingly confrontational. Economic pressure has taken the form of trade restrictions and boycotts, often tied to Japan's support for Taiwan and its defense cooperation with the United States. Beneath the surface, cyber warfare and industrial espionage have intensified, targeting Japanese government systems and defense contractors in an effort to extract sensitive technologies. The confrontation is no longer abstract, it is visible and physical. Chinese naval and air activity near Japanese territory has surged. Live fire drills, frequent incursions, and ballistic missile launches near Taiwan underscore the risk of escalation. At the same time, both China and Russia are deploying advanced fighter aircraft, forcing Japan to reconsider its reliance on foreign air power alone. Japan's modern aviation ambitions did not begin overnight. In 2008, Tokyo launched a program to acquire a 5th-generation fighter, initially seeking the American F-22 Raptor. When U.S. law blocked the export of the aircraft, Japan faced a defining choice: accept limitations or build something of its own. That decision marked the rebirth of Japan's indigenous fighter development. The Mitsubishi X-Shinshin became the proving ground. Developed by Mitsubishi Heavy Industries with contributions from over 220 domestic companies, the X-2 served as a technology demonstrator rather than a combat aircraft. Nearly 90% of its components were produced in Japan, a deliberate move to rebuild sovereign aerospace expertise. This experimental aircraft carried more meaning than its size suggested. Weighing around 9 tons and stretching nearly 50 feet long, the single-seat X-2 incorporated cutting-edge systems at a development cost of roughly $400 million. Fly-by-wire controls using fiber optic data transmission improved speed and resistance to electronic attack, while a self-healing flight control system automatically compensated for battle damage. The airframe itself became part of the sensor network. Embedded microantennas analyzed incoming radar signals, allowing the aircraft to counter detection and suppress threats. The X-2 was not designed to fight, but to teach Japan how to build fighters that could. Historical lessons also came from unexpected places. In 1976, Soviet pilot Viktor Belenko defected to Japan in a MiG-25 interceptor, one of the fastest combat aircraft ever built. Before returning the aircraft to the USSR in pieces, Japanese and American engineers examined it in extraordinary detail. The insights gained from its materials, speed, and altitude performance quietly influenced future aerospace thinking. Another major leap came through the F-35 partnership. In 2020, Japan signed a $23 billion agreement with the United States to acquire 105 F-35 fighters, placing its Air Force second only to the U.S. in fifth-generation aircraft numbers. The deal provided deep exposure to advanced avionics, sensor fusion, electronic warfare, and stealth integration. But Japan was no longer content with following, it wanted to lead. By late 2020, Tokyo confirmed plans for a sixth-generation stealth fighter under the FX program. Designed as a twin-engine air superiority platform, the aircraft is larger than the F-22, granting it longer range and a heavier internal weapons load. Its imposing size earned it the nickname Godzilla. At the heart of this aircraft lies a revolutionary engine. The XF-9 power plant produces over 20 tons of thrust and incorporates three-dimensional thrust vectoring nozzles for extreme maneuverability and reduced radar signature. Advanced airflow management and cooling systems allow sustained high-speed flight, with estimates approaching 1,990 mph, and short bursts exceeding that through specialized fuel configurations. The FX is built to see first, strike first, and survive. Its sensor suite includes advanced AESA radar, passive radio frequency detection, and infrared tracking designed to engage even stealth targets. Networked warfare capabilities allow the aircraft to act as a command node, coordinating drones, missiles, and other fighters across the battlespace. Directed energy weapons may redefine air combat entirely. Through cooperation with British programs, laser systems capable of both offense and defense are being explored. With power levels approaching 300 kilowatts, such weapons could disable incoming missiles or damage enemy aircraft by rapidly heating structural components. Behind the scenes, geopolitics adds another layer of complexity. Britain and Italy have shown reluctance to fully share certain technologies with the United States, making Japan a critical intermediary. Whether openly or quietly, Tokyo's partnerships may be reshaping the future of allied air power more than public narratives suggest. The strategic stakes could not be higher. If Taiwan were to fall, Japan's southwestern islands would become far harder to defend. Control over vital trade routes could shift. Pressure around disputed islands would intensify, and regional stability could unravel. North Korea's ongoing missile development only sharpens the urgency. In this environment, restraint alone is no longer enough. The Mitsubishi FX represents more than an aircraft, it is Japan's answer to an unstable world. A fusion of history, technology, and necessity, it marks the moment when a pacifist nation chose preparedness over vulnerability. If you want more deep dive stories like this into the world's most secretive defense programs, subscribe to Defense Strike Matrix, turn on notifications, and stay locked in, because the future of warfare is being written right now.